Hi again, YouTube. Sorry. I knew it would probably be long. Update. This is part two. Hopefully you caught part one. And let me introduce myself again if you're just joining and you happen to watch this video. I'm Ronique West, owner operator of R3 Limited LLC, where we do branding with no limits, and I'm your venture capitalist in the making. And this is just a vlog updating my journey from corporate America to full-time entrepreneurship. And really, I keep it real. I tell you the things that probably most people won't tell you. And I wanted to document the journey because even for myself, to remember like where I came from, however long it may take. I mentioned in my other video, I do study, like, of course, people that on my level or on the level that I would like to be at one day. They're extremely successful. And I can tell you, sometimes it took a year, sometimes it took 10 years. So everybody has their own time frame, everybody has their own journey, etc. So the only thing I tell you is just get started, execute, and just never give up. It's the biggest thing I will tell you. But watch the other video. I got into it a little bit deeper, but I want to keep going. So we were talking about workshops and just saying I finally got them off the ground. Much success. A lot of people are excited that I started doing them. And I also, I purposely, the way I started my business and the way my business plan is written, oh Lord. I did it in a way to where I would purposely network outside of where my local area is and then come back in. Kind of sound crazy because a lot of people tell you to make sure you get the local, get very known locally, and then, it'll take you nationally. The reason why I did that though is because this is my second business in this area. So I knew for me to reach the success level that I needed to have, or I wanted to have in my business, or that I will have in my business, I had to have a strong network outside of this area. I kind of already have a network that I network in this area anyway because of my other business, but this is me finally really stepping to the forefront of being an entrepreneur. And so it wasn't like my other business, I was at the forefront. I was in the behind the scenes. I call myself a behind the scenes specialist because I really deal with mostly behind the scenes things. I'm usually in this room most of the time throughout the day. So like I should put some flowers up or something. I don't know. This is like my woman cave. And where all my activity happens and my brainstorming and working, of course, this is what I do. But so I learned that from just this area. Now, I'm not saying that is the smart thing to do anywhere else you live. But for this area, I think I know, I'm not even gonna say I think anymore. I actually did a survey. That's one other thing I did. I kind of went out and surveyed some folks in the area, kind of talked to about some things to kind of gather some data about this market, demographics, what you're interested in, to understand more about this market and why some businesses have a hard time growing, or why it doesn't seem to take traction. For this area, any business that I work with, they're always going to get told that they have to have another line of revenue, no matter what they're doing for this area. And I would tell them to like really focus on trying to get a revenue that is outside of this area and in a different market, if at all possible, because then you'll avoid a lot of frustrations and you'll be able to really do what you need to do in this area as you take time to build. Now, one thing is you may be able to really penetrate the market here and sustain, but I'd rather you be safe than sorry. So it's smarter because then you just don't have a lot of frustrations that you see that happen in the area. And it's a lot of reasons for that. It's the income, it's the median income, it's this, it's that, it's this and that. So it's a lot of things. I'm actually gonna do a workshop on it in March about marketing, about the market, understanding your market, because that is crucial. You can't, like, I don't care what type of business you have. I don't care if it's the greatest idea in the world. If it's in the wrong market or you're going after the wrong market, it's not going to succeed. So it's a reason why, again, I started this way and then I'm coming back in. So I will always concentrate on both now. Now I'm ready to kind of concentrate more on the local area, but it still will be a more of a concentrating outside the local area. And then I'll be coming back in, but really just I'll focus more on reestablishing resources in the local area because naturally that will help the business to grow in the local area, because people will start knowing, knowing what I do, etc. By me just focusing on that, because I feel like that is the biggest need right now, why I still push my business everywhere. So that's kind of like my business. I can't give you my business plan, but you can see that's kind of my business execution plan, and why it's working that way, and why people are starting to see me more now than when they see me in the beginning, because it's a reason for that. So that should be in your business plan. You write it out, make sure you have a formal business plan that you present, and that's something I can help you with. Write your business plan. It's a formal business plan that you present in front of a bank, an investor. And then I always say you should have some people call it a strategic plan, an action plan, it's whatever plan you're going to look at, because you're not going to look at that 15-page plan. You need something in front of you that okay, I'm hitting this goal for the day. It's a planner, whatever it is. You need to know, and then you need to have, to me, even something that's yearly that says, okay, by this quarter, I want to be sure I have this done. By this quarter, I want to be sure I have that done. And it doesn't stay on time frame. For example, I had workshops first quarter. I didn't get them done to fourth quarter. So understand that, but I didn't stop. It got done. So understand that it's just part of the process. That's very crucial. I'm finally getting access or getting experience with funding, which is huge. I'm always constantly learning. I'm always learning, but I do know a lot. And one area that I know is a huge problem for any business is funding. And a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people don't get it. And I was like, why not learn funding? Because everything else I pretty much know, and I can learn and add to that knowledge constantly. It's not like it's now this brand new to me, but funding is like, one of the most critical issues in a business. And that's something that nobody's really tackling. So I was like, that is going to be one of R3 Unlimited's core things. Eventually, we'll be able to invest in businesses, but right now we need to understand funding sources, resources. If your credit score is here, where can you go in the area, or getting a good resource? And I that has been happening, guys. Can you believe it? Like, it has. Like, I've gotten the resources in the area who can help people to actually get funding. This is like huge. And I got like direct connect with them now. Small business and big business. So I've been doing a lot of travel. I had to write down what I want to talk about. I've been traveling like crazy, and I still contract myself out and consult with big business, corporate. Of course, my passion is small business and startup and fixing businesses so that they can stay open. I'm a big most people like it's here and everybody's looking at me and I'm doing great. I'm a person of, I want to fix the problem. I want to get it started. So that usually means you don't get as much shine. But I'm just that person. It doesn't bother me, because once I see something come to fruition, it's like, oh. So that's just me. Like, that's me. Like, it was on paper and now it's live and we did it. Like, it's like, that's me. And then I'm like, okay, what's the next thing? Like, after that happens, I'm like, okay, well, you need to keep your plan up, do this. Then I'm probably going to pass you on to another consultant that will kind of keep you on course. And I'm on to the next thing. Let me find out who needs help to get it started, or who has a problem I can fix. Or a person's like, I'm having this issue, I'm not hitting this, or I gotta guarantee whatever, because if this doesn't happen, whatever, let me help you through that process. Let me help you get those resources. Consult with me. Let's figure this out. Let's get this done. And then once you come out of it, you're like, oh my God, we're out of it. I'm like, oh, now I'm ready for the next problem. I'm like, okay, you're good. Let me go on to the next one. So that's just me. And I realized that's something that it took a long time for me to understand who I was. It was a process. It wasn't overnight. Like, I worked somewhere for 15 years, and I experienced some things, and then I went into prayer for like 90 days before I came up with a business. And I didn't even know I was going to go into business. I never even thought that I wanted to be like, have my own business. That was never like my intention. I thought I would be in corporate forever. So that just kind of shows you how life can take you. And it's not, it's definitely a lot of ups and downs. Some months I'm like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do? But it always, always works out. And I was kind of in a place where I could do it. My daughter's adult, so she's working, she's still very dependent on me, because when they get older, honey, it's not little stuff. It's not like 50 here, 100 here. It's more like 600, 700. You're like, oh my God, So it's bigger. So she's not at the point where she's not totally off of me, but she's working on that. So once she does, then I can really, really go. I'm not at that point yet. And then I just kind of want to talk about relationships at the end. I did have that down because I think that's important too. I think you should have balance in your life. Your relationship with, well, if you're a believer in God, I am, with God is most important, of course, because you're going to go through a lot of ups and downs. That's just part of life. It's just part of it. It's just part of it. I don't care what nobody tells you. And then, so the relationship with God is key. Relationship with yourself is key. Make sure you have balance. You have downtime. You're going to be working probably extremely hard. You have up, down, low, down times, up times, etc. So just make sure you have that balance and take care of yourself. Like I may take myself to the movies tonight. I mean, I am busy, and I was just like, I need some time. I've been kind of like dealing with some things on a personal level, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take myself out. My daughter had suggested, say, "Mommy, take yourself out this weekend or this week," and I was like, okay, I will. I mean, like when I tell you it's like crazy right now, it's crazy, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go and just take my butt to the movies, just to sit and just de-stress and just not think about nothing. So I'm gonna do that. And then relationship wise, I think it's very key. And you know, once you get your vision, you're going towards your vision. If you're in a marriage, or if you're with a significant other, or you're dating, you know, it's gonna be critical for whoever comes into your life that they understand what you're going through in your journey. That can definitely deter you. I heard one person said that, you know, they're single because they're building their business and they're just like, they don't want to deal with it. Like Shonda Rhimes tells you, like, she don't ever want a husband. She's like, I don't think I want a husband. She's like, because it would distract her from writing. Like somebody of that magnitude was like, I never want to get married. I wanted to have kids, raise my children, and work on my shows. Like, and she's very comfortable. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm going to be honest. Like, the older I get, I've already been married. I've already been in long relationships. Like, I've experienced it all. I even had to bury my ex-husband. Like, so I've experienced, like, the gamut of everything. Like, when a relationship comes now, it's like, it's not like I'm looking or wanting one. I'm not in dire need. I've experienced it all. So at this point, it's kind of like, let me focus on this. But, but I also said that if it's going to happen, I want it to happen like now while I'm working and not when I become successful. Because I don't think I would be able to honestly trust the person. I'm just being honest. If you were not with me at this stage, I don't think I would be able to trust you at the other stage. That's just my personal opinion. I think I would have a lot of problems unless we were like at the same level, then I probably would be okay. But like, so that's kind of my thing. Like, God, like, bring them now while I'm in the build mode. But even with that being said, some people have issues with that. So it's very critical that you have a person that is supportive and generally supportive and not deterring you from your goals and dreams. And they have to be secure in themselves. They have to be extremely secure in themselves to probably deal with a person that's building a business at the end of the day, especially if they're not building a business, which it works, because I know plenty of people who have husbands and wives and have built massive empires. And some of them have husbands and wives that are very motivated and building their own empire too. And some of them have husbands and wives that at home and don't do nothing but really support them. So, that person, whoever that person is, though, is very secure in who they are. And that's about the most crucial thing. And it's very supportive to that person. That's all it is. It is really no right or wrong reason. It's whatever works for you. And, I hear both sides of the story. But, just understand that, because that can deter you. And it's very important that you stay on your purpose and build your business and go after your dreams. And I did hear, like, I was in a conference and I overheard one very successful business person say, a lady was talking about how her husband just did not believe in, building a business on a business. He was like, you're going to have major problems, because that's crucial. For your relationship, your personal relationship is like crucial. You can keep going this route, but you got to really think about that, because that may destroy your marriage. You can't really, go that route. So, I thank God I am single and that I can really be picky about my partner. So that's all for now. I will promise I will come to you back once a month. I want you, whenever you watch this, I hope you're having a good morning, a good evening, or a good night, and be blessed.